The two top teams in the WNBA went to battle earlier today at the Barclays Center when the New York Liberty took on the Minnesota Lynx. And now I may have jinxed the Liberty into losing this game because right before the game I tweeted that they haven't dropped a game that I've attended this year yet. And this turned into the first one. Now Minnesota, they were unstoppable early on, especially on the offensive end. They led 30-17 at the end of the first quarter. And the Liberty, they had some issues, but it wasn't offensively because they were shooting, late in the second quarter, they were 45.5% from the field and 50% from three. Their problem was defensively because they just had zero answer for the Minnesota Lynx, who were shooting 53.1% from the field. And I don't know how, but they managed to be shooting 62.5% from three at that same time. And they were out-rebounding the Liberty 16-9. So it really was not looking good for the Liberty at all in the first half. And it got even worse in the third quarter when about one and a half minutes or so into the third quarter, the Lynx pulled even further ahead and they took the lead 59-39, prompting the Liberty to take a timeout. And at that point, the Liberty just looked lifeless. They didn't have much hustle in them. But Breanna Stewart, suddenly she caught fire. She put the team on her back. She gave the team life despite the fact that they were down so much, and actually the team's field goal percentage was dropping. It dropped to below 40% at one point, and at one point also their free throw percentage dropped below 70%. But the Liberty were still having trouble stopping the Lynx, and that plagued them until the fourth quarter. But somehow, some way, in that third quarter, they were able to just barely stay in the game behind really just Stewie's heroics. And the fans, you got to give support to the fans in the building earlier today because they stuck in there. Even though the Liberty were down 74-50 at one point, they stuck in there and that building was still packed. They were still making noise, especially when the Liberty started making that comeback in the fourth quarter, and Breanna Stewart gave a much needed boost to the New York Liberty, who outscored the Minnesota Lynx in the fourth quarter 29-14 actually. And Breanna Stewart was able to put up 10 points on 4 for 5 shooting late in that game. So that was big time for a team that was down by so much. But unfortunately for the Liberty, it was just too little too late at that point. The Lynx did walk out with the win 88-79. And Breanna Stewart, man, she had, despite the loss, she had a hell of a game. Really put the team on her back. Almost half of the team's points, 38 of the team's 79 points on 12 for 27 shooting, 3 for 6 from 3, and 18 rebounds. She was the bright spark on this team when there really otherwise was zero spark at all. And another thing of note in this game is that Breanna, she had her 61st straight regular season game where she hit a three-pointer. It's second place all time. First place all time is 66, so she's got 5 more games to go to tie that record, 6 more to beat it. But the problem was that Breanna did not shoot well at all in this game. She really struggled shooting 4 for 21 from the field and 2 for 12 from 3. And she's really not shot so well at home in the last month or so, ever since the Olympics. And she needs to play better if the Liberty want to have a chance at winning the championship. And she spoke about this after the game, where she took accountability, which is exactly what you want to hear from your star player.
I mean, they're a great defensive team. They're going to make everything difficult. You don't really get open looks. You get into the lane, you think you're open, and 3 people come out of nowhere. Obviously I didn't shoot the ball well. I was 4 for 21, which isn't great. But I'm going to continue to stick with it, knowing definitely going to be better than I was tonight moving forward. And I think I need a game like this sometimes too to just kind of knock some sense into me and understanding I can't show up and play like this for us to win.
Now, even though the Liberty lost today, they still are the top seed in the WNBA, are still favored to have that home court advantage heading into the playoffs, and they will be most certainly contending for that WNBA championship. With WFUV Sports, I'm Will J.